Hey y'all, this is Steven with Garage Gym Reviews Everything. I'm a certified personal trainer, a former rugby player, and a longtime weightlifter who's stepping away from the computer and in front of the camera to give you an exclusive tour of products like this behemoth right behind me. Today, we're gonna go over the Major Fitness Heritage Series B17 Flying Fortress all-in-one functional trainer with Smith machine. Whew. Now, I know that's quite a mouthful, so for the sake of your sanity and mine, I'm just gonna call it the B17 for the rest of this video. But rest assured, by the time you make it to the end of this review, you'll know exactly how and why Major Fitness designed this machine to be the ultimate strength training system. And you'll be able to figure out whether this is the right fit for your home gym. All right, let's get started. Major Fitness is a brand we've covered extensively at GGR. We've been impressed by their adjustable weight bench, their Home Gym Barbell, and their PLM03 Multi-Functional Power Rack. You can check out full reviews on all of those over at our website. But the B17 really takes things to the next level in terms of adjustability and versatility. You get 5 strength training systems all in one. You get a power rack, a Smith machine, dual cable pulley systems, a multi-grip pull-up bar, and a 360-degree landmine. Taking inspiration from their popular B52 Smith machine, the B17 has some unique elements and upgrades, including an interchangeable cable pulley system with both 1-to-1 and 2-to-1 cable ratios. It also comes equipped with high-quality Heritage Series J-hooks, thick reinforced spotter arms, upgraded cable handles, and weight stacks that can be expanded up to 260 pounds. Plus, the B17 is compatible with a wide array of accessories from Major Fitness, such as a rack-mounted leg extension and a multifunctional handlebar. Basically, this thing is made for full body workouts, okay? You can go from hitting chest flies on the trolleys, to hitting Smith machine RDLs, to setting up a barbell so you can do overhead presses. Again, you can hit any type of exercise you want using any of these strength training systems. So now that I gave you a little tease of what you could do with the B17, let's go through each component so you understand why it's a workhorse in every sense of the word. They may have named this the Flying Fortress, but it's not going anywhere once you have it set up. The fully assembled B17 weighs almost 900 pounds on its own, and it's about 6.5 feet wide, 6 feet deep, and nearly 7.5 feet high. Overall, I think Major Fitness did a really good job designing this to be as space efficient as possible. It's got a cube-like shape that keeps it well balanced, but beforehand, you're definitely gonna wanna measure your space just to make sure you can use this without any restrictions. When we assess racks, trainers, and Smith machines, we always take a look at the weight capacity and the frame materials just to get a good idea of how sturdy things are gonna be. The B17 uses 12 gauge and 14 gauge steel for the uprights, which isn't quite as rugged as 11 gauge steel, but still good overall. However, you can still push yourself to go heavy. The Smith bar has a 400-pound weight capacity, the J-hooks support up to 1,500 pounds, and the safety arms have been drop tested for up to 1,000 pounds. So, even though we still prefer 11 gauge steel, the B17 should still hold up well with whatever you throw its way. Just from its lengthy name alone, you know this machine is built with versatility in mind. I love that you can basically do any exercise and work on any body part. Just think about it. Your leg day could include Smith machine RDLs, barbell back squats, and then cable kickbacks for that glute pump. On your upper body day, you can go back to the Smith machine for traditional bench presses, hit some overhead presses with the barbell, and then use the cables for some tricep extensions. The possibilities are basically endless. The B17 truly supports streamlined workouts where you don't have to worry about wasting time hopping from one machine to another. Instead, you can take advantage of all 5 integrated systems to create a unique training session each and every time. Whether you're a taller athlete like myself or a little shorter in stature, you should have no trouble finding the sweet spot for your lifts. You get 32 adjustment holes on the uprights, 31 for the cable system, and 14 on the Smith machine. So you should have no problem setting the height exactly where you need it so you can hit your lifts perfectly each and every time. Now, I will warn you, it might take 2 hands to get these trolleys into position, but once you get everything set up, you're gonna have no trouble squeezing out every ounce of gains. Now, one call out I have about this rack is that it's just over 7 feet tall. So taller guys like myself might have a little trouble doing some pull-ups. You're gonna have to bend your legs instead of keeping them straight. Again, it depends on your size, but this is something to keep in mind, especially if you have a low ceiling in your garage gym. A functional trainer's pulley system should be as smooth as a properly mixed protein shake. Is this the smoothest one I've ever used? I'm not gonna go that far, but overall, I still think it's pretty good. Now, you might feel a little bit of extra resistance on here than actual weight, and you might need to add a little bit of oil to the cables to make it run a little bit smoother. But overall, I was pretty impressed with this machine. One aspect I particularly like about the B17 is the interchangeable 1-to-1 and 2-to-1 cable pulley ratios. What does that mean? A 2-to-1 ratio basically means that it only feels like you're lifting half the actual amount of weight. So for certain exercises, like let's say glute kickbacks, that's gonna be something you're going to wanna use so that it's a little bit easier to do. You can pull one cable to engage the 2-to-1 ratio for lighter resistance and a little bit longer cable load. Or you can pull both and you're gonna get a heavier resistance, which means you're gonna push yourself a little bit harder. Speaking of going heavier, the 130-pound weight stacks go up in increments of 10. Plus, you can expand that up to 260 pounds with the built-in selector rods, which allow you to load weight plates onto there. That's a really cool distinguishing feature that you don't see on a lot of other functional trainers. So, as you progress in your strength training journey, you can keep pushing the envelope. Now, you're probably wondering, how big of a dent is this gonna make in your wallet? The average functional trainer we test is about $2,700, and this machine right here is about $4,200. That's a little bit of a gap, but you gotta consider all the bang you're getting for your buck. This isn't just a functional trainer. This is a 5 strength training systems all in one. You're getting a power rack, a Smith machine, the dual cable pulley system, the multi-grip pull-up bar, and the landmine attachment. So when you combine that with all the accessories and all the attachments that you can put on this machine, this is a really solid value. Major Fitness also provides free shipping and a 35-day money-back guarantee. But I'm gonna tell you this, I do have one gripe. You only get a 1-year warranty. And when you're spending $4,000 plus, I would like to have a little bit more coverage than that. So I have to call out Major Fitness there. If you want more peace of mind with your warranty, you may need to look elsewhere. So now that we're at the end of the video, who should get this thing? Well, if you're of the one and done mindset with your home gym, this is a great option. The B17 offers a world of training possibilities in one well-built package. So when you're investing $4,200, you're getting something that could be the centerpiece of your training space for years to come. I'd also recommend this to bodybuilders and physique-focused athletes who need highly targeted training. The level of adjustability is incredible. You can attack specific body parts at specific angles on those hypertrophy-focused days, or you can go heavy on the Smith machine and the rack on strength-focused sessions. Now, if you're just a casual lifter or a beginner, this might be a bit overwhelming and a bit too pricey for you. If that's the case, I'd start with something that's a little bit more of a basic setup. What I'd recommend is the Bells of Steel functional trainer, which costs about half the price and still gives you plenty of versatility. Pair that with the Fringe Sport Garage Series squat rack, which costs about $350, and then you have a much more budget-friendly setup that still gives you a lot of options. And if you've got limited space in your garage, this probably isn't the best option either. Now, as I mentioned earlier, it's got that cube-shaped design, but this still takes up a good amount of space. So again, if you have limited room, probably not the machine for you. I'll give Major Fitness a lot of credit for creating a true all-in-one strength training solution for home gym owners. It's not the most rugged rack, and the cables aren't the smoothest I've ever tested. But overall, I still think it's a rock-solid value. Now, you can head over to our site or our YouTube channel for full reviews on other functional trainers and squat racks. Now, it's time for me to put this bad boy to work. This has been Steven with Garage Gym Reviews Everything. I'll catch you guys on the next video.